this movie is titled The Last Key, but I don't think that it's the last movie in the franchise. Although at this point, I really do think they should stop making them.
Because if they don't, they're just gonna ruin them, and it's gonna go to complete shit.
Insidious, The Last Key. Insidious, The Last Key is the fourth movie of the Insidious franchise. And before we start this review, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, and she's going to tell you how she feels about it. Love the first movie. I think the second movie's pretty good. Third movie's meh.
I really liked the first one. The second one was pretty good. It was alright. And then I enjoyed the third one a lot.
So The Last Key follows the old woman from the last three movies. And now she is in the forefront. She is the main character. So first off, I want us to start out talking about what we liked about this movie.
Crazy to think that a woman who was 74 years old was being the lead in a movie, and like, it's just...
A horror movie.
A horror movie, yeah.
She did a fantastic job in this movie. She carried this movie, in my opinion. She was the best part of it. Another good actor that stood out, in my opinion, was the young girl who played the child version of her. The rest of the cast of this movie, honestly, was mediocre to pretty bad. No one else stood out in my eyes. I'm gonna say this movie had a couple of really, really good scenes in particular. Like, there's one scene in a diner that I liked. The opening of this movie alone, like the first 15 to 20 minutes of this movie, I thought were really effective and made me really feel for this woman. Like, oh my god, like shit. And they bring in some really tragic issues similar to ones that have been addressed in past movies. And it really helps you to move past just the ghost in the movie and focus on the characters. And I think that they did a pretty good job with the old woman in this movie in particular.
The acting in it was tolerable for some of the characters, but yeah, the older woman pretty much carried it.
Now let me tell you, this movie is riddled with jump scares. However, I think in this movie they didn't have a whole lot of false scares. Most of them were legitimate jump scares of something actually creepy. The first one in the movie itself was the most effective, in my opinion. It was the one that made me jump and made her literally drop her popcorn.
To me, it seemed like the jump scares, you kind of had it coming, like you knew what was going to happen, you kind of knew when it was going to happen. At the beginning of this movie, it was really exciting, and I was really enjoying it, but as the movie progressed on, it was just kind of not fun to watch. It was kind of boring me in a way, and I feel like this movie, if it's the last one, supposedly, shouldn't it excite you way more through the whole film?
At the same time, I feel like the movie kind of had a weird linear way where it feels like it didn't really feel like it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. It had a first act, a second act, and a third act, but each act felt like it had a different storyline, and it kind of just confused me at sometimes, because there's some character revelations that are supposed to be oh, this character's now bad, and you thought they were going to be good, but it didn't really work very well, because it's just okay, you're what kind of a movie are you going for now? Is this like a hostage movie? Like a kidnapping movie? And then it just the movie doesn't really understand fully what it wants to be.
I also felt like there was kind of too much cheesy, lame comedy for this movie, because it's supposed to be a horror film. But it was just, there was a lot of really bad, cheesy jokes. Parts of the movie where two of the people in it were be a serious moment, and they're not being serious.
I could not stand the two characters you're talking about. And you already know which two characters we're talking about, her little crew. It is so obnoxious to see them on screen trying to make jokes. It literally brought me out of the movie so much. Some of the humor literally made me physically cringe in my seat.
It's really awkward, freshmen trying to hit on that senior girl that they're never gonna get, kind of funny.
And it had a horrible ending. It was seen from a mile away, it was so predictable, but the way they paid it off, it's just it's done. Thing that needs to be done, it's done by this stupid little lantern. Not gonna spoil it for you, but it just is a horrible fucking ending.
There were a lot of parts that I feel in this movie could have gone deeper into, but they just kind of brushed over it. And I really wish that they would have gone more in depth with certain scenes.
You seem to be shitting on this movie a lot, but that doesn't make this movie terrible. We didn't have a bad time at the theaters. It's just got a lot of very visible flaws, and the movie does have its issues, but as a horror movie, I'm not going to say it's not worth watching at all. But I will go ahead and say that me and Hannah can both agree that this movie is better watched if you're stoned. Now, I'm saying that not just in a general sense, this is actually a level on a scale that we've made. Scale is like A through F, basically, you know, like if you get an A, it's like this highest rating. If you get an F, it's this lowest rating. We haven't decided our highest rating yet, but I will go ahead and tell you the rest of our ratings. You'll get the highest rating whenever a movie comes out that deserves the highest rating. That's when we'll come up with it. But as of now, our lowest rating is pile of shit. That's going to be our lowest rating. It's called a pile of shit. The rating right above that is this movie is not worth wasting so many minutes of your day, however long that movie is. The next up is it's good. It's better watched if you're stoned. That's what Insidious got. The next highest is our first good rating, and that is this movie's worth watching at matinee price. The next one is this movie's worth watching at full price. And right now that's our highest rating, but we do have one more rating above that. And once that movie comes out, that A+, you will get that rating. As of now, this is our rating system. And as of now, if you like what you've seen here, then go ahead and subscribe to see more.